And welcome, this is ballerscuba with an update video. Once again, I am doing a game in the background for this because I want to be able to just kind of speak and get this over with kind of quickly because there's quite a few things that I want to talk about for this. I believe I have Plants vs. Zombies going on in the background, or at least that's the plan as of now. For this update video, once again, I want to talk about things that have been going on for the channel, for me personally, and therefore the channel, things that are going on and things that will go on. That's kind of the standard things, past, present, and future. I want to talk about all of them. So, past, I am recently back from vacation. Hopefully you guys weren't too upset by a minor turn down in video output for the weekend in particular. I was unable to get Portal 2 recorded with me and Buttercrust. Buttercrust and I have been having a few scheduling conflicts, so we haven't been able to record recently. We will, of course, finish Portal 2. I do apologize that it wasn't done a couple weeks ago, to be honest, but we've had scheduling conflicts and haven't been able to record. We will get that done, and those will go up. But I do believe that was more or less it for what I was able, or what I wasn't able to get recorded before I went on vacation, because while I was on vacation, I did not record at all. For those of you that are curious, I went to Big Bear in California. Big Bear Lake, I believe, in particular, not Big Bear City, Big Bear Lake, even though they're like 2 miles apart. They're in California in the mountains for Thanksgiving. I went up there just for kind of a small family Thanksgiving. For those of you outside the country, Thanksgiving is our Harvest Day festival, and it primarily means a big meal, and that's about it. We have turkey and lots of carbs, mashed potatoes, stuffing, yams, green beans, that kind of stuff. Cornbread. You gotta have cornbread. That's kind of just my family, though, I think. Anyway, enough about Thanksgiving, even though it's a very strange holiday, considering that it's a harvest festival at the end of November. Who harvests then? Anyway. Also, when I got back from the vacation, which I am back now, this is actually my second day back, the construction that was supposed to happen in the room where I record did not finish. So, still unable to fully record the way that I would like in the room. So I have kind of a temporary setup. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. I've only done one video with the temporary setup so far, and it sounded fine, but I'm not 100% sure on it. It's not my favorite. I'm kind of in an awkward position right now. So hopefully I don't have to do this too often. They should be finished tomorrow. It was only supposed to be a 2-day job. They're retiling the room, and for sure the corner of the room where my setup should be finished by tomorrow, so I should have it all up and running by then. And then we can just, or I can get back to just kind of normal recording, which would be great. On top of that, though, there is one more issue, that being my computer. My computer has been with me not necessarily since the beginning. If you watch the oldest videos on my channel, which once again, cannot stress enough, I do not recommend that you watch. I'm not a fan of them. I'll leave them up in case you're curious where I started and how awful I was, but indeed I was awful, so I wouldn't recommend it. It hasn't been with me since the beginning, but it has been with me especially since I started Xenogears. I actually got the computer with Xenogears in mind, and even then it kind of lagged a little bit, but I wasn't as laggy on this one as I was on the computer that I had before then. So I've had it for probably around 3 years or so. The actual computer itself, probably a little bit longer than that, maybe a little bit longer than that, and it is indeed starting to wear down. I've noticed it for a while now, the fan in particular, and this is the second fan I've had for it. I bought the same model, which probably wasn't the best idea, but the second fan is now not only rumbling, right, not always aligned properly, it now won't even start properly, and I'm pretty sure that's the result of the motherboard instead of the fan itself. I actually have to spin the fan in order to make sure that it actually starts, and I have to do that manually, and it takes a while. It takes about 5 minutes for me to actually get the fan going when I start up the computer. So as a result, that combined with the fact that it's kind of slowing down overall, plus the fact that it's 3 years old, has led me to just go ahead and purchase a new one. I'm going to get a new computer altogether. I will post the specs in the description, or at least a link to the specs of all the different components that I'm going to be purchasing in the description in case you are curious. If you guys have built a PC before, because this is my first time actually building a PC, any tips, of course, would be appreciated. You know, hey, don't do this. I actually screwed up a computer doing that. Love to hear it. I've never actually built a computer before. I've replaced most parts of a computer. I've never replaced the CPU or the motherboard before, but most of the other parts I have actually taken out, replaced, including the power supply for this thing, because the power supply went out on me one day, and I made a post about that. I think that was about 8-9 months ago that happened. That was terrible. And then, of course, while I'm replacing the power supply, my mic falls, and I got to get a new mic now. But that was 8-9 months ago, and not too much to talk about that now. So new computer is on the way. With the new computer, I am getting what I assume is a huge upgrade in graphics processing. The GE Force GTX 980, I believe it is called. I am told it is the best single unit for graphics processing out on the market, and I am looking forward to it because from what I can tell, the emulators don't necessarily use the 2 graphics processing units as well as they should. So I'm looking forward to that working out well for me. And hopefully, as a result of getting not only a better graphics card, but an NVIDIA card, the PlayStation 2 emulator will hopefully work for me 100% of the speed, 100% of the time. Because as it stands right now, on my setup, the PlayStation 2 emulator doesn't work, and that's the reason that Xenosaga 2 videos aren't coming out as quickly as I would like. If I can get the emulator working, I will, of course, do Xenosaga 3 on it, and then it will actually come out a little bit faster thanks to things like save states and frame skip. I'll be able to do a lot more work off screen more quickly, especially with Xenosaga 2. I'm kind of doing things at the pace that the developers not necessarily wanted, but how the developers made it, which in this case is slow, especially with battles taking upwards of 15 minutes off screen, but that's a whole different thing. But if Xenosaga 3 works full speed, I'll do it there, and then hopefully videos will come out faster for that. I'm also hoping that with the increase in graphics processing, the increase in storage that I'm getting, that I will actually be able to take advantage of YouTube's new policy on 60 frames per second. I used to actually record in 60 frames per second, but I had to stop that when storage became an issue. I might be able to do it now at 60 FPS, but I don't think I'd be able to render at 60 FPS, so I'm sticking with 30 for the time being. But with the new setup, I'll probably switch over to 60 FPS, especially for the new Let's Plays that are coming. In particular, Final Fantasy IX is coming, and I'm once again hoping that the new setup will arrive and be fully set up before I actually start that. And we can get the emulator working perfectly for that, like I was unfortunately unable to do for Final Fantasy VIII. Then, of course, whatever replaces Fallout New Vegas will be on the new setup. For those of you that didn't catch that vote video, there is a vote video that I will link in the description for what will replace Fallout New Vegas. If you didn't vote already, please vote, because it is very close between 2 or 3 contenders. I actually haven't counted since I got back from vacation, but before I left, it was tied. It was exactly tied. So if you haven't voted, please go vote. In terms of what is coming on the channel, obviously the new setup, so hopefully things get better, you know, new sound card, new graphics card, new entire computer, so hopefully things work out for the best. In terms of what is coming after that, of course, I will be doing Xenosaga 3 after Xenosaga 2. Still working on Xenosaga 2. Unable to do it right now due to the construction, but, you know, within the next couple days, I will have time to hopefully level grind and get showcase videos out, and then we can finish that up by killing the final boss again, which I've already done like 15 times off screen, but then we'll move on to Xenosaga 3, which I am very excited about. I plan on getting that done before the end of the year. Same with Final Fantasy IX should be up fairly shortly. Fallout New Vegas, I'm not entirely sure because I don't know how much I have that left of that because it is blind, but we will see what happens after that. With Portal 2, I'm hoping to get that done very, very shortly. Just one more session with me and Buttercrust. Hopefully our scheduling conflicts can be alleviated and we can get that done. What will replace Portal 2 is a surprise. I've only told Lymanity about it, and I plan to keep it that way. Let's just say I didn't choose the game. The game chose you. But that will be up once again, hopefully before the end of the year. We'll move on and we'll get that done. Diablo 3 is wrapping up. I'm still debating between a couple things on what I want to do after Diablo 3 is fully finished. The hardcore run is finished. There's 2 games in particular that I have in mind. I'm bouncing back and forth between which I want to do. They should be, well, you'll see the results of that fairly shortly. There's things that I have brought up on the past, have been in vote videos in the past, stuff like that, but we'll go over that later. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Pokemon well underway. If you guys haven't checked that out, unfortunately it's not as grim as some people would like, but we'll get that I'm sure in time. Nuzlocke challenge, ooh, it's going to be bad pretty soon because I'm unevolved and I'm getting to that point. But those are the main things that I did want to talk about. Back from vacation, hopefully you guys didn't, well, honestly notice too much because I kept on pumping out the videos. Pumping out such a bad term for it, but you know what I mean. I keep on producing the videos. I you know, plan ahead for vacations to make sure I get it done in a timely fashion, and I had plans for further things that I could do now, but unfortunately the setup just doesn't allow it. So that's kind of the purpose of this update video, plus to let you know, hey, a new PC is on the way. I do hopefully, well, no, I do have a Wii and a PlayStation 3 now. I believe I've mentioned both of these in videos previously, but with the Wii and the PlayStation 3, once I can get the games done with the PlayStation 2, I can start transferring the captures over to the PlayStation 3 and the Wii, and hopefully we can get some, you know, games done off of those. For all I know, as far as I know, I should say, the Wii emulator is still in production. Like, I see posts about it every once in a while that they're working on the Wii emulator. Last I checked, even launch titles were only going at half speed, but that was, of course, on my system, and maybe they're faster when my new system comes in. And maybe I can do some Wii games, but we will see. That was actually an unintentional pun. So PlayStation 3, Wii games, you know, maybe those are available. Of course, anything on Steam is available. I always do take requests. I don't get to them very quickly. I understand. I still have requests for games that I probably won't be able to get to for a year, but I do plan on getting to them. Games like Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie. I'm still a little unsure about Conker's Bad Fur Day, to be honest with you. I have gotten a few requests for that, and I've watched playthroughs of it, and I don't think it's as funny as people necessarily remember it, but maybe that was just the Let's Player that I was watching instead of the game itself. But those are the things that I wanted to talk about. I am rambling again, so that is going to do it for this update video. I have been ballerscuba. This has been many, many dead zombies. Hope you guys have enjoyed this part. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.